Okay, welcome back to Louisville Now. We're still in Valley Station, hearing about the great businesses that you can come and visit here in Valley Station. And right now I'm here with Barry Washington, who is with the original Barry's Cheesesteaks.
Yes, sir.
So it sounds like we're going to have something good to eat.
Hey, we're trying.
Okay. Tell us where you're located.
We're located at 5408 Valley Station Road. If you're coming up from Dixie, you'll make a left at Valley High School, and we're on the right-hand side. And if you're coming down this nice fine road, we're on the left-hand side.
Okay, so not far from Jig's Fruit Market
No.
and the Valley Dairy Freeze, kind of all in the area
Yeah.
here, right? So, cheesesteaks. How did you decide to bring Philly cheesesteaks to Kentucky?
Well, to be totally honest, it wasn't me.
Okay.
It was just that.
It's just a good idea you got fired out,
Yeah,
right?
I had to, do something. I had a church and I was helping kids, and I had some that I knew wasn't going to go to college. So we opened up a restaurant, and I said, listen, I'm going to teach you how to cook. I'm going to teach you how to run it. Then I'm going to teach you how to say goodbye to me.
Okay, that's great. Sounds like you're teaching entrepreneurship, which
Yes.
is really important,
Yeah.
and skills. That's great. So tell us, what can people expect to find at your store?
Well, when you come to Barry's, one thing that I always tell people is I lived in Philadelphia, I cooked in Philadelphia, I learned the trade right there in Philadelphia. And so I still go back and forth to Philadelphia to like Charles Ritter's or the Omarosa Roll Company, different people that I have a relationship with. So all of my meats, all of my breads and things, they get shipped to me from Philadelphia.
Okay, so it is original. That's why it's in the name, right?
Yeah, it's the real deal. I know there's a big argument about cheese whiz and things, and we have a little joke. We say we don't whiz on the food, but we got some good provolone, we got white American, and we got several other kind of cheeses.
All of that is good to know.
Yeah.
Particularly the first part. But tell us the history, that you were kind of sharing some of the history of the original Philly cheesesteak,
Yeah.
right?
It goes back to the 1930s, and these brothers, their last name was like Orville. And what happened, they used to take a cart out and cook down there in South Philly around the shipping yards and things. Cab drivers would come up and they would give them these chip steaks. And so one day things were getting a little low, and so they started putting the cheese on there, and then the brothers started adding some of that cheese sauce like years later. But it just started off two brothers trying to put together something, and it just grew to be a part of the history of Philadelphia.
Absolutely. And it is, of course, it's a Philly cheesesteak. So we're
Yeah.
talking about beef, we're talking about cheese, but a really big component that is very important is the bread.
Yeah, well, at one time we had a very good baker up here.
Okay.
That was a secret, and they're no longer baking bread. And that's why I went back home to connect with the Omarosa Bread Company personally. And I told them what I'm doing. And so this way I make sure I get bread coming in from Philadelphia. I go back and forth up there just to connect with the different vendors. The meat company that I use, they've been in business for 125 years.
Wow.
And so I told them one day, I said, I want the ribeye, And they said, Barry, we can sell you that, but that's a dry meat. And he says, that's why people put cheese sauce over it. And so they sat me down. They had about several different kinds of blends, and they created a blend for us down here.
Okay, so it's unique to you.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
and
great.
it's very good. When we're prepping it up, we have a lot of steak on the grill, and I'll come past and grab me a piece of that steak, and it just tastes good without anything.
Right. And it is the original Barry's cheesesteak. Philly is known for cheesesteaks, and I'm from that area.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit. And two of the biggest well-known cheesesteak places in Philadelphia, they're right on corners across from each other in South Philly, are Gino's and Pat's.
Yes.
So do you have people coming and asking you about that ever?
Yeah, and when I visit, my last trip up there, they had a contest in the city about the best Philly. Pat's and Gino's didn't get in it, but I went over there to Gino's and I pulled up my phone and I had a video on there from the Food Network and Food Paradise, and I showed him. And he was looking at it and looking at the sandwiches. He said, who is that? I said, that's me. He said, come on down here. And so then, we became friends. I have their phone numbers and things like that. And I even go over to Tony Luke's and I'm friends with them. But to be totally honest,
Yours
Lee's
is better.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And Lee's
That's
hoagies
awesome.
is
There you go.
good.
There you go. Okay. So Before we wrap up, we also want to mention that they don't have to just visit you at your store here because you're at stadiums and other places around
Yeah,
town also.
we do what we call pop-ups now, and we're getting more information from the people in the communities like, hey, you could do a pop-up here. You could do one at Montgomery Chevrolet and different places. We did Walmart, Sam's Club. And then the thing that's my highlight, but it wears me out, the L&M Stadium, the home of the Louisville Cards. You got to say it like that. We on the 5th floor. It's called the UPS Flight Deck, and this is our 3rd season. We have our own restaurant up there.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. That's great. Again, I'm talking with Barry Washington, who is with Original Barry's Cheesesteaks right here in Valley Station. Tell us your address one more time.
5408 Valley Station Road. Come on down and we're going to take care of you, and then come get some vegetables, then come get some ice cream, and go home and go to sleep.
Well, thank you. I think that's a wrap for Louisville Now. That was great. Wrapping up all the different businesses. We've been down in Valley Station talking about a lot of the independent small businesses that are here. We'll be back with more Louisville Now in a few days.